Hey guys, Gaming Unsealed Zomar here, bringing you the next episode of my playthrough of Dark Souls. This is not my soul level 1 character, and as you can see, I'm tackling Quelaag's domain, if that's how you actually pronounce her name. I'm doing something a little bit different this episode, which is why it's going to be a day late. So what I'm doing is I recorded the original footage without audio, without my audio, and I'm going back later and I'm basically talking over it. And I want to try this out. I want to see what you guys think, because what I'm hoping here is that I'll be talking a little bit more, giving you guys a little bit more input. You know, giving you guys more of a play-by-play, because I've been noticing lately that I haven't been talking a whole lot, and you know, this basically forces me to talk. I was wondering what the little note meant by chest ahead, but as you can see, there is a chest ahead. Anyways, so this is my first time seeing this boss, let alone fighting the boss. So I'm trying to gauge what her moveset is going to be at the same time as, you know, doing damage to her and making a little bit of progress. So the spider has some sort of molten breath effect, and she's got her little flame sword that she swings. So I'm trying to basically gauge what I can do to get her and her spider, or get her to, you know, do the different moves. Right here I kind of lucked out because the molten lava just timed out as I backed up into it, so I actually didn't get any damage taken from that. So this is me just trying to play with, you know, trying to get her to do a very specific attack so I can know what's going to be coming, so I know how to dodge, how to block, or anything like that, and then be able to go in for an attack afterwards. Basically, I still haven't quite figured out what causes the spider to breathe the lava, but you know, it doesn't seem to do a ton of damage unless they stay in it for more than a couple seconds. This is the first time I saw this attack, which was it reared up and then slammed down with its legs. But you know, I'm starting to actually realize what's going on. You know, starting to actually be able to time things and dodge out of the way. I accidentally roll into some lava there, get hit by her once, and I need to heal. So, a couple more swings of the sword, and she should be down. Just one, actually. But that is Quelaag. And if you were to ask me like the strategy for fighting her and everything like that, I don't really have a specific strategy other than, you know, don't get hit by her attacks, don't touch the lava, and just keep swinging your sword and hitting her. She's a rather big creature with fairly large openings if you're able to read her attacks. So it's not that incredibly hard to hit her. Now, actually, over here, from the fight, I got a little bit disoriented, so I kind of look like an idiot as I had to run all the way across the room. And the other thing too is as I go up the stairs here, I look and I see the little hole in there, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can go in there. So this is me just testing to see if there's some sort of a illusionary wall. I even tried to test like over here, and like maybe it's hidden, you know, because I think that for some reason that I can get into this little circle over here, which it's just the way the map is designed. So this is just me thinking that there might be some sort of secret in there, but I think it's just a really, really poor design the way that it's displayed. So running into this room, you know, looking around, like, oh, there's a lever here. I gotta pull it, and maybe something will happen. Sure enough, as the cutscene shows, there's the second bell being rung. So then it pans out to something I haven't seen. It kind of looks familiar, but you know, I just kind of watch it. And I'm like, okay, something's happening. So a gate is being opened, and immediately, as soon as it pans out to the shuttle, I'm like, oh, I recognize that. So, that must be the next area to go. No, I recognize that. That's right where the Onion Knight was sitting. Okay, cool. So, I got a homeward bone, and I'm like, while I'm here, I might as well try to explore the area a little bit. Maybe this is like a dead end, or maybe there's something down here that you'd normally miss if you were just immediately like bone out and go over there. So me just taking a look, and it looks like that through there is a whole new area, and I'm noticing that, you know, if I try to progress a little bit too far in certain directions, then I'm not quite prepared for it. But this is me just using the homeward bone to get out. You know, get back to that bonfire in Blighttown, and then run all the way back to the blacksmith. But let's skip the travel for you guys. So here we are back at the blacksmith. I forget exactly what I was trying to do down here. I think I was going to look to see what I had for souls to try to upgrade some stuff. Realized I didn't have a whole lot of souls, and turned around and ran right back up. So I'm going to be heading over here. This is the gate that had been opened. And immediately I come over here and I'm like, hey, where's my friend the Onion Knight? So, running in here and I'm like, oh, Sen's Fortress. And I immediately realized that this is going to be filled with lizardmen and what appear to be some sort of trap. But, you know, just trying to clear these enemies before I can really get anywhere. I figured out that the timing of their attacks is fairly slow, and me doing a leaf strike will actually hit them basically guaranteed because they lower their shield. And I hit them before they can hit me, so it's a fairly reliable way to be able to, you know, control them. You know, a new area, I've never been in here before, so I'm just trying to be a little bit cautious. I noticed this narrow little bridge, but I'm just looking to see what my other options are, just making sure I'm not missing anything. You know, dodge these different axes. You know, I figure axes this big, you know, will probably knock me off, probably won't just damage me. So I see the stairs there, and I'm just exploring to make sure I didn't miss anything. You know, maybe some sort of illusionary wall or something hidden, you know. So running up the stairs here. And run through these axes here to try to get this guy who's shooting me with lightning. And again, the same thing here. The right trigger with the sway hander is actually very, very useful, because it does, if an enemy gets staggered by it, they get pinned against the ground, so it's very, very nice. Get myself a large Titanite strike there. Currently my sway hander, by the way, is a +10 sway hander. I farmed up enough shards and souls to be able to get that up to +5, or sorry, +10. And saw the enemy there, and then just watched him get absolutely decimated by the boulder that came by there. You know, I was ready to try to hit him, and then boulder out of nowhere. And then, you know, after fighting that guy, the lock on immediately. It was like, hey, there's another enemy down here, you should probably kill him. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know there was an enemy down there. So sure, I'll kill him. Get myself a drop attack on him. He's got really, really strong attacks. But you know, just do the right trigger attack, and it slams him down to the ground. So now go back over here. You know, waiting for a boulder to come by. I see that, and I start running, and notice this little alcove coming up on the left. Watching that enemy just get completely decimated by the boulder. I'm just gonna be waiting for another one because it looks like there's another room up ahead. So running up the stairs, getting into this room here, and got an item over here. Ring of Steel protection. So I'm curious as to what it does. So I open it up and just boost defense versus physical attacks. I'm like, oh, cool, interesting. And then you gotta get out of this room. It's a dead end, so I gotta go back this way. Notice a boulder land, and I run down after it. Jump into the alcove and traverse the white light here. So, new room. Again, never been in this direction before, so being a little bit cautious, running out with my shield because I'm not sure if I'm going to accidentally set off a trap that's going to shoot me again. So at least running around with my shield out would block any sort of traps by surprise or anything like that. And of course, this one shoots me in the back. Just when you expect something in front of you, it comes up behind you. So I noticed down here on the ground there's some sort of like track very similar to the one up above, and I didn't realize there that I was just barely sticking out of the doorway. And apparently the boulder doesn't care how much of you is sticking out of the doorway. So, you know, just like the other path, I'm going to run up and try to get behind the boulder. And little did I know that you don't have enough time to run up there without getting hit by the boulder. So I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, get up, don't get hit again. So here we are at the top of the stairs, exploring down this room and figuring out, okay, like, there seem to be 4 different tracks. So, and a lever, so that lever might have something to do with interacting with changing the path. You know, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to see what bringing the boulder down goes down each of those paths does. And I figure out that the lever being in the opposite direction of whatever direction you have it will put the boulder in that direction. So gonna go explore. You know, just trying to see like what I can do, where I can go. Throw it over here because it doesn't look like an area a direction I'm gonna go. So to try to explore. Running down here to see what my options are for places to go. You know, this is me thinking that an enemy could come out of nowhere or a trap could get set off and everything. And I noticed this there's a lift here. So I jump on it, not paying attention to the blood below. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, so that's trapped. That sucks. You know, just gonna wait for that to squeeze again and come back down and try to grab it. And I'm like, oh, that thing is moving rather quick. And that hurt. So now I'm gonna get off here. Don't want to get squished again. And notice this chest over here. So I go to open it and oh my god. What the absolute fuck. Holy shit. That thing just completely ate me. And I guess that is what is considered a mimic in this game. So I just did a little bit of editing there, you know, skipped just trying to get back down to where I was. you know, I whack it, try to get it to come up so it doesn't actually eat me, you know. But I can't necessarily say I'm going to be trusting every single chest from now on. But you know, just trying to kill the mimic at this point. Finally got the mimic down, and he dropped something. So he dropped a lightning spear. Might prove useful for later. You know, as of right now, I don't really have plans on specifically using it. And again, see the track on the ground here. You know, not really putting two together that, you know, I changed the direction of the boulder. So going up the stairs here, you know, the boulder's not going to be coming down here because of the direction I changed it to. And then I see the enemy over there with the item. I'm like, I want to go get that. So I'm looking for a way down, and I noticed that he's standing on a platform, so I'm just going to jump down, land on the platform, take out the enemy, and grab the item. And then I see that there's two different directions I can go. So just taking a look, and it looks like that this is actually a drop down. So I don't really want to go that way because I can't really come back from that direction quite yet. So I want to explore the other direction first, because at least this might be something I can come back from. And again, you know, anything in this game, I get a little bit doubtful whenever there's something out in the open like that. It almost seems like it's going to be some sort of trap, like something's going to come out and eat me, or, you know, hit me, or whatnot if I try to go get it. I'm not really trusting anything in this game if I don't really have to, you know? Just exploring the different paths I can go, places I haven't been before. Like I said, this is my first real experience with this area. So I noticed that there's this path over here, so I just take a look, take a peek. Looking for anything that could be down this direction. Put that serpent man into the dirt. And see that item over there, and I'm like, I'm heading over to there first. And I'm like, oh hey.
This is quite a rare thing in these times. I am Logan.
Hi, Logan.
Cooped up, as you can see. I have a bright idea. Suppose you said
So I'm like, sure.
empty-handed, but I could repay you with
Cool, so it seems like if we open up the gate, he'll help us out.
inactivity.
So I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Open up the door, let him out.
Oh, heaven, but I must log a few things.
And of course, he can't really help me until he goes back to Firelink, so I'll have to go check him out when I get back to Firelink next time I'm there. And then this is me not really trusting that I can walk over to the cage, but apparently it's close enough to the ledge that you can. And then that's just me walking into the cage and seeing if anything were to happen. And it doesn't appear like it does, so I'm gonna try to head back to where I was. Since that ledge had to drop down, I have to go up the stairs. And this is also me getting a little disoriented, not quite realizing where I am, so I run back out here. Set off the pressure plate again and realize, oh, I know where I am. So, head over this direction. Remember that there's a boulder over here, so I start running over here. Gonna duck into the alcove up here on the left again. As that guy gets demolished by the boulder again. And he makes it into the room with me, so just take him out with a quick swing. I'm trying to avoid the pressure plate there and completely fail it. So, take another chunk from the Estus flask. and gonna head up here. You know, just gonna be chasing the boulder down here, trying to. I only have one use of my flask left, so gonna be trying to take as little damage, trying to get back up top as I than before. And I realized down here, this is where the mimic was, and there was a lift behind the mimic. So I hop on the lift, you know, trying to remember not to get squished, and hop off the lift before it squishes me. Gonna be heading up here to the top. You know, just like, okay, well, what places have I been to before? What places have I not? Just running up the ramp and realizing that I think I've already been over there. This is me just trying to, like, take a look, like, there's an item over there, I wonder if I can get over there. So, this is me just like, okay, well, that doesn't really seem to do anything, so I'm gonna put the boulder over there for now, and do some more exploring. And this is just me looking to see how that boulder is actually, like, given a direction. I notice these stairs, immediately notice the pressure plate and see the traps on the wall there, trying not to get hit by the traps. Again, trying to not take a whole lot more damage because I don't really have any more flasks. I do have one, but I'm trying to hold on to it if possible. So again, new area, try to be a little bit cautious, going a little bit slow, you know, with my shield out, just don't know if I'm going to set off any more traps. And I see this. So I just run for it, and the timing works out. Don't get hit by the axes, don't get knocked off, don't die, so that's a good thing. And, you know, just doing with the right click, the overhand swing, it does knock them into the ground, it does make it so they can't really hit me. Come over this direction. It seems up to this point I'm making my way up, so I'm going to try to explore anything that's on my current level before moving upward. The other advantage of the overhand swing is I don't hit the walls next to me. It's a really large sword, and using the right bump rather than the right trigger, well, I might actually hit the wall next to me, which would stagger my attack. So, then this is me just running around. It doesn't seem like holding my shield out like that actually impacts me in a negative way. So I've gotten in a habit of running around with the shield out. It doesn't seem to slow me down or anything like that, so I just do it anyways. And then we have this path here. Notice this guy on my left. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I deal with him? He throws his little magic at me, and I'm like, I don't actually want to fight you while I'm on the bridge. So this is now me just trying to get a lock on onto him. I get hit with a couple of his spells, and, you know, throw a little fireball at his way. And then, silly me, I try to use heal with my fire gauntlet, my fire glove. I'm like, why is it not going off? It didn't work the first time, it had to have worked the second time, right? No. You just didn't change your spell. So I changed it over to Fireball, and I finally took advantage of the timing and everything using the ability. You have like half a second or a quarter of a second to move after casting the ability, so I took advantage of that and try to step around the corner, try not to get hit with a lightning blast. This is me just trying to figure out the timing of these axes here, try not to get knocked off by them. And make a run for it, and I didn't get the timing right. So, fall to my death, and oh hey, there's a Titan ID in there. But let's, skipping my way back up, you know, again, trying to take advantage, trying to minimize the time that you guys are rewatching some of my footage. Do a jump, get past, and finally make it. Now, what I edited out there, it wasn't just one time going back up there. I actually made it up again and got knocked off again. So the timing on that isn't necessarily the easiest. I showed you guys the success, but I have fallen into those axes more than once, and I noticed that there's a couple of pressure plates here. So walking through this here, you know, new area, don't really know what's going on. I see this big guy over there, you know, paying attention to him because maybe he throws something at me type thing, you know, getting ready for the worst. It doesn't appear like he's actually throwing anything, so I let my guard down. And, you know, dropping fire hell on earth from the sky, burn my death, to my death. As another bullet gets dropped on my head after I die. So, this here is, you know, just showing my pathing up to try to get back up to the top. Just to show you the timing of everything, trying to take as little damage as possible because I only have 5 flasks this time. I get the Manservant Greatsword, or Manserpent Greatsword there. Don't really have plans on using it. So making my way past these axes. Trying to take advantage of using heal rather than my flasks at this point. Getting past that boulder there, getting past the trap, taking care of that guy, chasing the boulder down right here, and riding up the lift, again stepping off before the top of the lift so I don't get squished. Running up this way. I didn't really need to move the lever because I wasn't doing anything involving the path of the boulder at that point. Get past this first set of axes. Don't want to bother with the guys down below, but one of them does chase me up the stairs. So then I got this guy over here. Again, taking advantage of that sidestepping small little mechanic, and get past those axes again. Accidentally set up the trap, and gonna return you guys to normal speed at this point. So, you know, just trying to get back my souls. You know, I'm still thinking maybe he did something to cause the boulders to get dropped on my face. And I step out and immediately into fire and brimstone. But that's going to be it for this week's, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. See you later. Bye-bye.